Hey, welcome in to the Mystery Fifth Hour. What are you laughing at, Dunaway?
I like the new starting.
Hey!
Come after the hey, everybody. Jimbo Wood. Hey.
I'm back from LA. What up, bro? We are the Valley Girls out there, Lance. You used to live out there. The Valley Girls, the way they talk cracks me up.
I never really know. I mean, California girls are different. There's no doubt. And there is something to, I think some of them try to act stupid.
I think so, yeah. We were like, I think it was at Universal. We were riding a ride, and one of them was like, "Everybody stay together." And it's so annoying. I'm sorry, but my daughter's.
Shrooms have really come back, so it could be
they were just on the shrooms.
They were just on shrooms. A lot of girls are doing shrooms now because
weight loss.
It's not really
healthy.
You don't have the appetite you would have when you are smoking weed.
Right.
It's safe.
You're welcome.
That is true.
They're cheap.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of girls doing shrooms now.
The Mystery Fifth Hour.
I've never done it, by the way, for the record.
You've never had shrooms?
I have not.
I don't want to hallucinate.
Got invited to a shroom party once.
Did you?
Said no to it.
Was it at a house? Was it at an airport hangar?
He was going to be at a guy's house. He was going to cook them up.
I don't know.
And I was like...
Was this in Birmingham?
Yeah. Back when I was single, and I was like, dude, I wouldn't trust you to reheat a frozen pizza. I'm not going to trust you to cook up some shrooms for us.
You'd be amazed at some of those dudes that know how to do it, though.
But see, that's you said it's safe, but if you do it wrong, you could kill people.
You can cook steak wrong and kill people.
If you got the wrong shrooms.
Possibly. Y'all be amazed at one of our really good clients.
That's a shroomer?
Asked me last year, he's like, once a year we have this crazy shroom party that you need to come to.
Shroom and onion.
So, shroom and onion. So what, so it's just a bunch of people eating those and hallucinating, and they just hang around a house together and hallucinate?
Does it make you hot and make you take your clothes off?
I don't know.
Oh, I guarantee you that's involved.
Different people go on different rides.
Yeah.
And trust me, if I'd done it, I'd tell you.
Has anybody, have they had any issues at that one party?
We had an issue last night.
I don't think they tell me, look, we want you to come. Now,
we've only had a whole
Ronnie went crazy.
Yeah.
They do get volunteers, though, to be shroompers, shroompas, people that guide you through your shroom experience.
Boy, that would suck to be a
guy, it would.
Whatever that is.
Shroompa.
So so this was in the late 90s? You were invited to this party?
It would have been right before Maggie, so it would have been 95-ish.
So when they cook them, do they cook them and then put them in other foods? Is that the way that works?
People used to put them in pizza. They have shroom tea.
But the tea is what he was creating.
Yeah.
Oh, he was making shroom tea? So
is that what the girl does on Yellow Jackets? Is that shrooms when they're at the plane crash?
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Shrooms, and shrooms are a big part of one of the episodes of the new Black Mirror. But
That's what my buddy thought I would turn into a little bitch if I drank shroom tea.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do that. Yeah, wow.
You drink it every day?
Glad you avoided that.
I had one bad edible experience, and so I don't want to be in a different world that I can't control.
I know a girl that is, she's smaller. I mean, she's
Petite.
Yeah, I wouldn't call her tiny, but she's close to tiny. Probably 5'1", maybe weighs, $105. Tiny girl. And she got a edible delivery. And the way she described it was they were in kind of a circular in a pie, which I assume is pretty common, right? And I guess she didn't realize that you were only supposed to eat a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
So she thought, I'm kind of small, I'll dial it back a little bit. I'll only eat a quarter or half of the pie.
Yeah, see, that's smart.
That's a mistake. That's
so
almost like if you got a rope.
Yeah, probably gonna need to read the whole packaging there.
Did she tell you how many milligrams?
So she didn't. I wouldn't have known. But she said, 30 minutes to an hour later, I was on the couch and I watched myself get up off the couch and go turn the TV on and come back and sit on the couch. Yeah. And I realized I have screwed up very badly here.
It was
probably 100 in the sphere, and each slither was 10 grams.
This is 3 years ago, so this is during the pandemic, July 4th weekend.
Right.
And I had a guy that was sending them to me from Colorado. Mm-hmm. And I was just bored during the pandemic and I wanted to sleep. And so I started to like him a little bit, and I ran out from him. And so I found a local guy, and he brought me the nerd rope. And you guys know about this. I missed work the next day. But I had gotten home from Odie's that night, and I just wanted to sleep. But what about getting high? I was just having a good sleep. But it was a 250 milligram rope, And I just wasn't doing the math, and I just took a bite off about that big. But I woke up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and it was a weird yellow color I've never seen before.
You're tasting colors?
And my whole world was like beating.
Did you kick the giraffe out of your bed?
And so I woke up, Mary Ann back in the day, and I was like, is this real or am I dreaming? And she's like, this is real.
Why are you speaking Portuguese?
So she tried to talk me through it and put me in the shower, and she got really close to calling 911, and I was like, can't do that. And so I basically, I pushed my way out of it, but it was one of the most miserable experiences. I had to call you guys and say, I can't do the show the next day. I'll explain why. But when I woke up and finally got to about 11:30, 12 o'clock the next day, I looked at that rope and I had eaten about 50 milligrams, which for some of our listeners is not a big deal. For me, just starting on edibles, it knocked my ass off. So I'll never do it again.
So imagine she's probably half your size that did this. Hey, the Mystery Fifth Hour is presented by McCurry Van and Car Rental. If you need a car, van, or truck, you rent from McCurry. They're the van and car rental, the local company you can depend on. All kinds of vehicles to choose from, trucks, SUVs, passenger vans. They make it super easy. They get you in and out fast, and they got locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, and Huntsville. Also right there in Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Call and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003, 256-559-1003, or visit McCurryRentals.com, McCurryRentals.com. The non-mushroom eater is Jim Dunaway. The nerd rope eater is Lance Taylor, one of the guys that surprises a lot of people that's never used drugs, is Rockstar.
Yep.
Well, you're a musician. I think a lot of people think you're a musician.
Oh, he's got tattoos. I mean, if I saw him, I'd be like, this dude drinks, he does drugs,
you meet a lot of the criteria.
Yeah. I go home and watch a kid.
I know. You've never used them, have you? Not one time.
I've never had a drag of a cigarette.
Did Nancy ever find her keys?
I went
at the
home.
time we're shooting this?
For those listening, watching, viewing, this is present day where we are. I don't know where it is where you are.
It's really confusing. This guy's never used drugs.
We had gotten up for work, and I had
This morning?
it's Monday,
Okay.
and
Yesterday.
Nancy usually leaves about 45 minutes after I do. I take Cord I meet Bethany here to get Cord on Mondays, and so we're getting ready. Okay. We're getting ready.
Not rock stars.
Yeah. Cord is my son. He's not a car.
This probably makes more sense on an edible, but go ahead. All right.
And so as I am taking him, she says, I need to get my keys. And I said, okay, we have rings where we put our key. Well, I put my keys on the ring right by the front door.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right by the door, right?
And
we've got the same thing.
She doesn't know where her keys are. And I was like, well, we're already running late. We got to go. And she's like, well, I don't know where my keys are. I was like, well, can you look for them? She looks for them for about half a second. I don't know where they are. And I was like, well, I can take you to work because you're kind of close to me. But we're going to have to, our schedule is all screwed up now that you don't have access to a car. And we had celebrated my dad's and my brother's combined birthday on Sunday. And she thinks she left him at my parents' house. I was like, but you rode with me. There was no point in you having your keys at my parents' house. So I had to call my mom, and she had to look for everything. And I was like, well, Cord is to the phase now where he gets something and he just throws it away. I'll tuck it in a cabinet.
Oh, boy.
And my mom, keys are very popular with kids.
Yeah, my mom said if she put it in the trash, I was like, I'm not asking you to go through the trash. If it's in the trash, it's a lost cause. So we get in a little bit of a tiff about
you and your wife. Or you and your mom?
About on the way to work.
Yeah.
Me taking her to work. She says that it's because you're always rushing me. I go, I don't remember rushing you for anything. This thing with my brother and my dad has been playing for 2 weeks. I didn't just throw this on you. So we rode in silence for a little while with the kids back going, drop him off. I get home. I had to run home after work yesterday. Look in the diaper bag, and if the diaper bag's this deep, it is right here. And she has a huge Dungeon Master keychain, so I call her. It's one of her friends or coworkers have to drop her off at home to do a photo shoot. And so I had to go pick up Cord, and it was a whole thing.
So
you did find them.
Yes, I found them when I just doing this, not even looking, just doing this in the diaper bag. Oh, here they are.
So my wife and we have
it's fun.
Finally,
I rush her too much.
Finally, we have found the solution to this. My wife is notoriously has done this multiple times. Once with our corporate credit card. Will take the card out to go into a store and doesn't want to take her purse in, so she sticks it in her back pocket. And when it comes time to need the card again, she can't find it, and it was in her back pocket somewhere. Did that with one of our corporate Amexes, and we didn't cancel it only because she finally found it that night, because I told her, we'll replace our check cards. but I do not want to go through the process. It is so irresponsible for us to have to replace the corporate Amex and cancel that and go through all of that. You've got to find this one. So she finally found it. But here's the solution, and this doesn't help you with your key thing, but it helped me with my wife. She finally got her card on her phone, so now she doesn't even need the check card.
We lose our phone all the time too.
I just found that out a couple of weeks ago.
I know, it was revelatory to Lance that he could take his phone downstairs and buy snacks in the commissary.
We lose our phone. It's either we're on that Life 360 thing now, and
that's a game changer. By the way,
I get constant updates. Remind Nancy that her phone is 5%. I was like, she sleeps with it next to the charger and just leaves it 5. So before I go to bed, I make sure I plug her phone.
You're telling me all the pet peeves: being late.
Yep.
Especially when you know when an event's coming,
right?
Like that. Not having your phone charged when you've been at your house like all day or all night. My daughter does it all the time.
No, it's a teenager thing, Lance, because on Live 360, I constantly get updates that both my kids, is under 20%.
Yep.
And it doesn't faze them one bit.
But what's crazy is like we could live without our phones more than they could because they're on their phone all the time. So you would think that would be the most important thing that they would have charged.
It's really about routine, though. I mean, every night when I go to sleep, I put it on the nightstand. I have a space that it sits upright, still will ring and everything, but it sits right there and charges all night. It holds its charge all day. Do the same thing for my watch. I put my keys in the same place every day.
It's not a game,
time
though.
I can't find
it's
my
fun.
keys.
It's only fun when you lose stuff.
I never lose my phone because it's either in my back pocket, in my hand, or I sit it in the same place every day. I don't see how you can lose any of those things.
Look,
it's a constant battle that I have chosen to stop fighting.
But to your point, I get very little anxiety. I mean, you guys know me. I don't get anxious about a lot, right? The one thing that gives me anxiety is knowing I'm late for something.
Yeah, me too.
I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate being late. And it's even stuff like it doesn't matter if you're on time. Like, we were kind of last minute getting to the Dodgers game when I was in LA. And we barely saw first pitch. Met Buster and saw first pitch.
And you knew Buster was probably waiting on you.
No, actually I didn't. I didn't know that. I thought he was coming down later. But it didn't matter if we saw first pitch or not. But still, that was the time the game started. I wanted to get there on time. The rest of my family, not so invested in that, right? They're just doing their thing. But game starts at 4:30. Let's be there, or 4:15. Let's be there at 4:15. Yeah. It drives me crazy.
But I do have people that I tell. I've got 15-minute late people and 30-minute late people.
Yeah.
Some people are hour late people too.
I'll change the
But
time.
do you give your significant other?
You're always on time.
Do you give your significant other fake start times?
Yes,
to events.
Yeah, we're still late.
I don't, but I tell her departure times.
But are they fake?
No, I'm just like, we've got to leave by.
Yeah, see, I build in 10 or 15 minutes.
I may build in a little bit.
Well, let's pull the curtain back a little more. Nancy, I love you.
She never watches this, does she?
Probably
Did
not
she watch
watch
the
it.
Mystery Fifth Element?
No.
Hey, Nancy, if you're watching, though, before Rockstar says this, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. And make sure you've subscribed and you've set your alerts so you know when we're live.
And I love you.
Yeah, we love you too. We appreciate you lurking on YouTube, but it really helps us if you subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Go ahead, Rockstar.
So we had the decision to make. I played the VIP for the James Taylor concert, and it was on Father's Day. So we said, why don't we take both our fathers to the concert?
Good idea.
Y'all can watch me melt people's faces off.
And the JT.
And the VIP, and then we can just walk over and do James Taylor. And so I had the idea because somebody's always late. I said, look, why don't we do this? I'm going to pick up my dad, and he's going to come help me set up. You guys can come right after, you and your dad, because they were staying with us for the night. I was like, you can do that. Say the gates open at 6. I start right when the gates open. We're there about 5:15 because traffic's bad. Who knows why it was so bad on Father's Day. But start playing 6 o'clock. I'm playing 6:30. 6:45. James goes on at 7:30 or 7:45. 7. 7:15. 7:20. 7:25. I'm getting calls. My butt's ringing because I have my phone. I'm playing. I can't answer the phone. And I look at it. I've got 2 missed calls from her, so I finally call her back. You can hear me on the mic. And, we got to talking, and we left at 5 o'clock. No, we left at 5:30 because we wanted to get there in time. There's just such bad traffic. She lives in Troy. She's from Troy. You got to pass Oak Mountain on 65. She went towards Birmingham. Took a wrong turn on Alford. Had to go back, double back. And then by then, everybody's like, the concert's at 7:30. Let's get in the car at 7:15. So the traffic is backed up. So she has to pull a Yui over by the funeral home, wherever, to go all the way around. She gets there at 7:25. She missed the whole. So it's like, and her dad was like, "It was nice hearing you." I was like, Not my fault. I did not do a thing.
You raised her.
Yeah, so.
You can't coach it out of people. I think people are.
Oh, she was. She was so beat up about it.
Oh, I'm sure she was.
And I was like, I'm not going to give you a hard time. I was like, it took you literally 2 hours to get here. Yeah. 2 hours. When you're in the car, it wasn't like you were putting your makeup on. Yeah. So
I think it is more of a woman thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing.
I hate that.
What?
Women?
When we say it's men or women's thing.
Oh, it's more of a female
thing. With you.
Yeah, you can't deny this one. Science backs us up on this one, Jimmy.
You know what I think part of it is? I think it's sports. I really do. I think we're so used to start times.
That's right. Kick times.
Practice time, kick times, things starting on time all the time.
Yeah, but I was always, and not like a specific person taught me, and I forgot where I got this, but I picked it up early. If you're late, you're wasting somebody else's time.
That is true, yeah.
But it may have been a coach in Little League or something. You just don't know.
I heard the saying early in my life, you never get in trouble for being early.
Yeah.
Nobody ever gets home to for being early.
For me, you could be late. You could be late. Hell, practice here. Wait, starts here. Class starts here.
All right, it is the Mystery Fifth Hour presented by McCurry Van and Car Rental. Once Rockstar gets killed by Nancy for that last diatribe there.
It was not my wife Nancy. It was Nancy Travis,
Nancy Reagan,
the actress.
His lover.
Yeah, she was sneaky hot back in the day.
Yeah, she
Nancy
was.
Travis.
So I made
she's the one that was on.
She was in The Vanishing.
Yeah, 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah, Internal Affairs.
Yeah.
She was the
3
wife.
Men and a Little Lady, I think.
She was the wife on the Tim Allen show, whatever this newest shit, the most recent.
Yeah, I liked her.
That's
I liked her.
Was it Last Man Standing?
Yep,
Yes,
I think so. Back in the day, you're right. Sneaky hot. Speaking of funerals, though, Lance.
So Jody Colley, one of our listeners, sent me.
We love
DM.
listener submission.
Yeah, this is awesome, and look, we invite this.
Audience
submission. By the way, I've got an idea on that.
Okay.
That I thought about during the show today.
All right.
When I was
tuned out.
Tuned out of the show,
autopilot.
when you're supposed to be listening.
Yeah.
So Jody said this.
Anything good for you.
I enjoyed the topic of what's your first R-rated movie, and it made me think about a Mystery Fifth Hour topic for you guys. I have to set this up. My dad loved the movie Blazing Saddles, even to the point when he was near death's door, he wanted to watch it with me one last time. Boy, that would be a tearjerker for me. I mean, Blazing Saddles is obviously a funny movie that you couldn't make in 2023, but watching something with my dad for the last time, knowing it was the last time, that's a lot. But he goes on to say, after he passed away, we invited family and friends, and everyone watched it together after his funeral in his honor. My question is, what movie would you like your friends and family to watch to remember you by? He said, mine is also Blazing Saddles. My wife chose The Birdcage, which is also a great film. Movie. So I just think that's an interesting topic. And I'll start it with me. And you guys would never believe this because it's not my...
Oh, okay. I was going to try to guess yours.
Oh, you'll never guess it. Like, I'll give you $10,000 cash if you guess.
Okay.
There's no downside for me?
There's no downside.
Yeah, you've got nothing at stake.
What's it? Cinema Paradiso.
Do you want to think about it?
No.
10 grand on the line. Do you want to think about this?
I was going to go Casino.
Nope.
Oh, gosh. Such a
yours is
lemon
Shawshank.
pick. No. Shawshank's a great movie. But
You're not gonna go. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be an uplifting movie.
This was a movie that I've probably seen more than any other movie, and it was more repetition of HBO back in the day as a kid. Seems like old times. It's not a great movie. It's a Neil Simon. He did a play. They turned it into a movie. 1980, Chevy Chase. It's got Goldie Hawn. It's got Charles Grodin. And Chevy Chase is a writer. He gets framed for a bank robbery and goes to his ex's house. She's married to the DA, which is Charles Grodin. It's just, I loved it as a kid. And I could recite almost every word to that movie back in the day. But that's one of those that it was fun, it was in good spirit. That's when life seemed like there was no complications, everything was easy. I've showed it to my kids. Believe it or not, I got it on DVD.
I do believe that, 100%.
Why not? I mean, it seems like it means a lot to you. I like it.
Yeah, no, it seems like old times would be mine.
Are you...
And I know that surprises you guys because it's dark stuff.
Yeah.
I think the death of me or whatever is probably going to be dark enough.
Is the question, are you present when we're watching this, or are you already gone?
Gone.
Okay. That's kind of changing because
it's not about your life either. It's
no.
just
I'm saying like you have to like this is a movie that you guys have to tolerate without me there. That's the thing. Like my family has to tolerate.
No, I would be interested. Like if I got invited to something like this to see what this person cared this much about, and like I would be in tune with something like that. I think it's pretty cool.
But by the way, as we continue this, I want to tease ahead to something real quick at the end of this Mystery Fifth Hour. When we had this discussion about the first R-rated movie we watched. If you guys remember, it happened on the actual show. I couldn't remember the name of the movie. I gave you kind of the story behind it. You all could all remember the name. when you brought that up, the mind works weird ways. I had not thought twice about that.
That Blazing Saddles?
No, but the name of the movie came to me. So I'm going to tell you what movie it was. I want to read. I was looking up just a second. I'm going to read the description.
Teasing ahead.
Tease ahead in the old Mystery Fifth Hour at Rockstar.
I'm still undecided on mine because what's sad was, for me, Blazing Saddles was like a rite of passage. I remember exactly where I was. I was like 7 or 8 years old when my dad introduced me. Of course, the first scene he showed me was the campfire scene, and just having your dad just like can't control, like almost choking. He's laughing so hard at the campfire scene. Then like my dad likes Toots just as much as I do and stuff like that. And I haven't seen Blazing Saddles in forever, but I remember exactly where I was in our house, in this tiny little like tube television we had in this den watching that movie. I think it was like on HBO. We didn't have a VHS of it. But I guess something that symbolized me and to punish people too would be Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Tim Burton's first directorial debut.
You always like that movie
forever. A lot of awkwardness in it.
It's very scary too. That's a kid's movie that's scary as shit.
85?
88. 87 or 88 because they turn around quick with Big Top
Yeah,
Pee-wee.
I remember going to see it at the theater. Hoover Square.
I think I saw it there too. I saw Masters of the Universe there in 86.
For me, it would be Jerry Maguire because...
Kelly Preston.
Well, I mean, just there's a couple of things in the movie. First it has a sports theme to
That's
it.
That's right.
It's a romantic comedy.
Yeah, it checks all your boxes.
Maggie and I, we saw it when we were dating. In my wedding ring that I don't wear enough, as LT points out.
Let me see. You got it on?
Don't have it on today.
Don't wear it up. You never wear it.
It's got fat fingers.
Inside it says "You complete me."
Oh hell yeah!
Does it really?
That's original.
Yeah.
Is her say okay?
It was back then. So it would be Jerry Maguire, and then other than
what
that,
would she put on it now? You humiliate me.
Yes, you're inadequate.
I tolerate you.
St. Elmo's Fire was my other one. For my college friends, it would probably be St. Elmo's Fire. So Maggie and the kids.
So you're gonna do a double feature.
Yeah.
Everybody take a bathroom break. Jim's still dead.
Popcorn's refillable.
Yeah.
Mine, I would want people to laugh. At my funeral, and you guys, I've told Jennifer this. Honestly, what I've told Jennifer from day one is, I don't care what you do at my funeral. I'm not going to be there. I really don't care. Why are you?
No, I know that. I've brought that up. We had a discussion yesterday on the show.
Well, before you tell him,
Oh no.
what day, if you died, would you want your service to be held?
Is it football season?
No.
But that does play. I have 2 dates.
That's a good question, Lance. I would say Monday because then it gives people a reason to take off work.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't want to do a Friday because I don't want to send people to the weekend with
And a Saturday?
A Saturday's
No one wants to do a
terrible.
Saturday.
No, God, no.
You
Saturday.
wreck everybody's day.
Saturday non-football season, so you don't have to miss work.
Keep them on ice.
Any of that. Tuesday night if it's football season.
Tuesday night. Yeah, so everybody likes a good night.
No, I think during
It's also
the
taco night.
week, I think
It's a celebration of life. I'm not there. I've already been
here's the
burned.
thing about during the week, it gives everybody out if they don't want to come to your funeral because they
Yeah.
couldn't get off work, but it also gives everybody an opportunity to get off work if they want to get off.
Yeah, I would say Monday during the day. You got a good reason to be off work.
My whole point was we get so far behind with live reads when we do the show. I didn't want you guys to miss a live read.
My sister-in-law, my brother's wife, these big companies. She works for a large national company, a large international company. Has a good job with them. You get like 2 weeks of bereavement or a week of bereavement or something when a family member dies. And my grandmother passed. Not even blood related to my sister-in-law, but obviously she's got to be at the funeral, right? And she goes to her superior, which I think was in another city. It's like, hey, just as a heads up, I'm either going to have to be all for work remote. My husband's grandmother died, and I've got to go to the funeral. And she's like, oh no, you don't have to work remote. You get 1 week bereavement for family members. She said, what is 1 week? She's like, you get a week off work.
I have 4 people in hospice.
I mean, I was like, I'd have people dying left and right if I were you. I mean, that is. Do you have to show him a death certificate? He's like, no, I don't think so.
Costanza had to take a picture of him in the coffin.
I know. I was like, that's wild.
That's pretty strong.
So I'd want people to laugh at mine. So I'd go My Cousin Vinny. It's I think it's
That's
one of the
good.
funniest movies of all time. So many good scenes in it. I can't remember the actor's name, but
Joe Pesci.
No, you've played him in a Trash Open. Members of the
I can't
Jerry.
remember. Yeah.
That guy's so funny in that movie. It's just a good, funny movie. Joe Pesci, Ralph Macchio. Marissa Tomei, Best Actress or nominated
Supporting
for?
actress.
Nominated for or won?
She won.
Yeah, that is high-end Marissa Tomei right there, if you like her.
Dude, she actually looks better now.
You think
She's
so?
Spider-Man's mom, isn't she?
Yeah, and Aunt May.
Yeah. Or
I think she
Spider-Man's
looks
aunt.
better now.
Yeah, I was always a fan. I like Marissa.
Yeah.
Look at our boy growing up.
Somebody
Somebody
looks
looks
better older.
29 that looks fantastic.
Who was also attracted to George Costanza in one episode.
That's true. She was.
How can somebody so fat and so bald be so single?
We showed a picture, one of our recent shows while you were on vacation. Deion Sanders at the hospital bed with his 10-year-long girlfriend now.
That was his girlfriend?
Yes. The one on the right? Yeah. And
How old do you think she looked? The girl on the right.
Wait a minute. As you're looking at it, it's on the right, not the one that was on his right.
The one on his right, camera left, was the athletic trainer who's used to work here in Birmingham.
Okay.
Was at Jackson State. The one on the right is
I thought it was his daughter. I thought it was his daughter. So she's a good.
You talking about the one on the right?
I'm talking about the one he's apparently dating.
His left, right, yeah.
Yeah. I would say she's a good 25 years younger than him.
So I thought she was about 29 is what I said.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd be blown away if she's in her 40s.
So prime is almost 60?
55, 56.
55, 56. How old is she?
She's 56.
That's impossible.
Well, it was the lighting. It doesn't, if you pull her
That's a
pictures,
good
it doesn't look like her.
That's impossible. I thought it was his daughter.
Yeah.
No, 56.
56.
Yeah, you can't hide that waist. I mean, all the lighting you want. That the ab and waist area was the.
I mean, I
What's the
didn't.
kicker? That's 58.
Jim, I
59.
did not get a magnifying glass out. I just saw it on social
Can't hide
media.
that waist.
I was talking about the face. I mean, in the hair and everything, she looked like she was in her 20s. But
You got filters for that. You don't have filters that waist.
So the genesis of this topic was a discussion we had on the show about our first, and I remember how this came up, first rated R movie we ever watched. And I told the story that back in the VCR days, my mom and dad borrowed a copy of Fletch from some friends, and used to, for you youngins out there, you could choose how much, like the same tape could either tape 2 hours, 4 hours, or 6 hours, depending on what settings you used. This is apparently a 6 hour. So at the end, the next HBO movie that came on, they just taped Fletch off HBO and didn't realize what was on the end of it, was a R-rated movie. And as a kid, I discovered that after watching Fletch one time, which my parents allowed me to watch. They would not allow me to watch this R-rated movie had they known. So I watched it. It had nudity, sex, everything.
9.5 weeks?
Could not think of the name of the movie. And I promise you, none of you have ever seen it, but the name of the movie is funny. I guarantee you have not. This movie only got 2 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes on the tomato meter, so it's got no rating. It got more than 1,000 ratings on the audience score, which is only 32%. That is pretty bad on Rotten Tomatoes, right? The name of the movie is the 1984 comedy, hour 28 minutes, Hard Bodies. Nobody's seen Hard Bodies.
I think I've seen Hard Bodies. Let me ask you, was Hard Bodies when they went to spring break in Fort Lauderdale?
Aging swingers pay a beach bum, played by Grant Kramer, and his sidekicks to lure fit young women to their hot tub party.
That sounds like a good movie, though.
I mean, I might have seen it.
Rating R, genre comedy. Yeah. Ken Dalton, Jeff Began, Ken Solomon. Oh, well, that's your producers. I'm looking for anybody that was in it that you might know.
So it was a titty flick.
Pretty much, yeah.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
1984, so I would have been, at that point, 8 years old.
Okay.
So that was the first one. I mean, I can't swear that 84 was
the year
I was watching, but it's pretty close.
A to Z, I have all the Emmanuels. Emmanuel Arabian Nights.
Arabian Nights.
Plural.
I mean, Fletch was hot. When did Fletch hit? 84, 85, somewhere there. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that would have been when Fletch was hot.
Oh, your boy Courtney Gaines was in it.
Courtney Gaines? You looked up Hard Bodies?
Yeah.
Yep, so that was the one right there, guys.
Remodels houses in Waco?
No, that's Chip.
Critic reviews. David says, somewhat watchable yet mostly forgettable. Mike says, rather than being funny and sexy, the movie is mostly awkward, uncomfortable, and too severe to be enjoyable.
The critic was Dave White, was it?
Dave Nassour or something.
Okay.
It was not Dave. We used to have him on the show, didn't you?
We used to have Dave White.
Yeah. All right, so that does it for the Mystery Fifth Hour presented by McCurry Van Car Rental. Don't forget to rent from McCurry Van Car Rental, the local rental company you can depend on. All kinds of vehicles to choose from, including trucks, SUVs, passenger vans. They make it easy to rent. If you've traveled recently, you know how difficult rental cars are. They get you in and out fast for locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Call and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. That is McCurryRentals.com. Please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you have subscribed to our YouTube channel. Set your alerts. Share us all over social media at Next Round Live on all social media at Next Round Live. Thank you for watching the Mystery Fifth Hour.